Question: why do I need to take a shelter of Sri Vaishnava Guru? Why I need to perform a devotion service unto Sri Krishna? So the answer is, this material world is called as a prison house, Durga. In Sanskrit, a prison is called as a Durga. Every prison house has a prison officer. Similarly, in this Durga, there is a prison officer and her name is Durga. And she is the external energy of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And what's her job? Her job is to punish every conditioned living entity. She punishes every living entity. What kind of punishments? The punishment, there are three kinds of punishment. The first is the punishment dukkha. Punishment in the form of bodily disease like cancer, heart attacks, diabetes, TB. And the punishment in the form of a mental distress or mental depressions. This is called adhyatmik. And secondly is adibhautik, a punishment which is coming from other living entities like war, terrorism, a fight, snake bites, the attack from the other living entities, or someone abuses, give bad words, or someone insults and hurt us. And the third punishment is the punishment from the nature, like tsunami, like heavy rainfall. Many people die because of too cold or too hot. So continuously, all the living entities in this material world are suffering because of the punishment given by Durga. She is a prison officer of this material world. And we all are criminals. We all are criminals. So what is our crime? So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who is the compiler of this Vedic scripture, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says in Madhya Leela, Krishna bhuri se jiva anadi bahirmukha ataiva maya tare deya samsara dukkha. So it is mentioned that every living entity is being punished by Maya, Ms. Durga, who is a prison officer. Why? Because we have given up the path of devotion service unto Sri Krishna. We are not remembering Sri Krishna. We are not following the right path of devotion service unto Sri Krishna, which is taking a shelter at the genuine Sri Vaishnava Guru and accepting Krishna, Shiksha, Diksha, because the first two important limbs of bhakti as per a Vedic scripture which is called as Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, which is composed by Sri Rupa Goswami, one of the great Vaishnava Acharya. The first limb of bhakti is to take a shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Vaishnava Guru. And second, one has to accept a shiksha, means he has to learn under the guidance of Sri Vaishnava Guru, and he has to accept a diksha, a spiritual initiation. Diksha is a process where one receives a mantras, a bija mantra and Gayatri, and one has to chant those mantras and Gayatri regularly, which is composed of the holy name and bijas like Swaha, Namaha, Om. So we are not following the right path of Krishna Bhakti, and some are not at all or neglecting Krishna Bhakti. They are continuously punished by Maya. So but there are many people who are very happy, like those people who earn a lot of money, those people who stays in bungalow, those people who have a lot of reputation, fame. What about those people? So, in the next verse, in same Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned, कभू स्वर्गे उठाए कभू नरके डुबाए दंड्या जाने राजा हीने नड़ीते चुबाए. So the example is given. A king, he punishes a criminal by submerging his head into the water, and again he will remove his head out of the water for some time, and again he will submerge, and again he will remove it. And this goes on continuously. Similarly, actually this is a place of misery. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, this is Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It's a place of misery. In 9th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Anityam asukham lokamimam prapya vajasvamam. This is a place of Anityam, asukham, no sukh, no happiness. It's only misery. So, we experience some kind of pleasure in the form of money, women, enjoyment like eating, sleeping, mating and defending. All kind of sensual enjoyments is nothing, just coming out of the water for some moment. It's an illusory. It's an illusory happiness. Because again we have to go into the water. Our head will be submerged into the water and suffer. So this place is a place of punishment. This is a place of misery. So what about those devatas who enjoy the heavenly pleasure? They go to the heaven and they enjoy apsaras, they drink somaras and they look so beautiful. What about those devatas? So Lord Sri Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam shina punne mrityulokam vishanti evam traidharmam anuprapanna gadagatam kama kama labhante. Those who go to the heavenly planets and enjoy a lot of heavenly pleasures, they again, as soon as their pious credit gets exhausted, they has to come down to this earth planet, and again they have to go through all kind of miserable situations. Disease, death, birth. So, all these problems are really not stopped. They has to suffer. It was just a temporary, illusory heavenly pleasure. So that is not actual intelligence to go to the heavenly planets. So what is the solution? So solution is only a bhakti. So Krishna says, Jara marana mokshaya mama shritya yatantiye te brahma tad vidu krishnam adhyatmam karma chakhilam. 7th chapter 29th shloka. Krishna says, one who wants to become free from this kind of punishment in the form of old age, disease and death, mama shritya, the intelligent person will only take shelter of Krishna. Here mama shritya means taking a shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Vaishnava Guru by accepting spiritual initiation and performing a devotional service unto Sri Radha Krishna as per the instructions of Sri Vaishnava Guru. Adi Shankaracharya, a great devotee of the Lord, who is the incarnation of Lord Shiva, he has written a beautiful prayers which is called as Lakshmi Narsimha Stotram. So he mentions, he prays to the Lord Lakshmi Narsimha Dev. He says, Samsara davadahana kulabhishanoru jwala vani biyati taktatanuru hasya tvad padma sarashim sharana gadasya Lakshmi Narsimha mamadehi Karavalambam. So he's praying to the Lord that, my dear Lord, this material world is a forest fire and I'm burning in this blazing fire. So every living entity is burning in this blazing fire of material existence in these three kind of miseries. Bhishanoru, and these flames of these fires are heavy, a huge, massive. So what is the solution? The solution is, if someone sees the pond of the cold water, immediately that person has to go and jump in the water and extinguish all the fire. Similarly, the intelligent person has to take a shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Vaishnava Guru and perform the devotional service unto the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and that will give a cooling effect. It will give a complete freedom from the effect of this blazing fire. Then he prays to the Lord, Samsara Jalapatitasya Jagannivasa Sarvendriyartha Badishagajashopamasya Protkamita Prachurata Lukamastakasya Lakshmi Narsimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. So he prays to the Lord that this material world is a big net. Just like a fisherman, he puts a net into the water to catch the fish. And what he does, he takes the pointed hook and baits that hook with a flesh, a meat. And when the fish sees this, he gets a smell of this flesh. The fish comes near to that baited hook and it opens the mouth and he swallows that flesh. He tried to eat that flesh, but because it was baited at the pointed hook, that hook gets stuck in the neck of the fish and the fish dies. Similarly, every living entity in this material world is trying to enjoy the lusty desires. Every living entity is trying to fulfill his lusty desires of eating delicious food which is really not wanted, sex enjoyment, different kind of illicit, lusty enjoyments. And what happens? He dies like a fish whose neck is cut into two pieces because of the swallowing a pointed hook. We can see these examples which are happening in this world, how the people die when they do a lot of sense enjoyment. Then Adi Shankaracharya says, Samsara Vruksha Agabijam Ananta Karma Shakhayutam Karnapatram Mananga Pushpam Aruyya Dukkha Falinam Patitam Dayalo Lakshmi Narsimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. This material world is big tree, Vriksha. And the seed of this tree, a bija, is a papa, sin. So, every living entity is committing a sinful activities every moment. Aruyya dukkha falinam. And what happens? These trees are bearing the fruits and flowers which consist of different kind of miseries. And what happens? The reaction of performing this kind of sinful activities, we are only suffering the miseries and problems in our